This is a shoot plan, and it's one of those things that you absolutely need on your stock photoshoot. Why? Let's find out. But first, welcome back. If you're following me for a while, you know that in stock photography, lifestyle content is where the money is. Demand for lifestyle content with people is much higher than the demand for still life images. And at least for me, it's much easier to get good shots with people than to arrange a still life scene and make it look good. And if you search for still life images like nature or food on iStock, you will see that there are tons of really awesome looking images, and it's hard to compete with that. When we started, me and my brother shot coffee, wine glasses, strawberries and similar stuff, and we sucked at it, so we haven't sold many of those images. But when we started to shoot more content with people, sales started to go up. So today I'll tell you why you should have a shoot planned and also how we do it, and along the way I'll also share some tips and tricks I've learned during all these years. So people say preparation is around 80% of your photo shoot. Well, I'm not sure about the percentage, but I agree that it's very important. We used to go on a shoot without a shoot plan, and on location we just decided what we'll actually do. Well, we still do that sometimes, but now we have a lot of experience, so we know a little bit about angles, lighting and all that, so it's much easier than 10 years ago. But still, when we have more important shoots, we always create a shoot plan. But even for small, simple photo shoots, it's a very good idea to have a shoot plan. When you have a plan, you know exactly what you will do on the shoot, and that way you won't lose time on location to think about concepts, things you will shoot, props you will use and similar stuff. You will focus more on shooting instead of everything else. We use an app called Notion when we're planning our shoots, but you can also do it in Notes or Google Docs. We used Google Docs and Trello for some time, but now we switched to Notion. Usually when you have an idea for the shoot, first thing you want to do is find a location. And you want to do that even before you start making a shoot plan. And when you have the location, it's a very good idea to go there before the shoot and check the location. That way you will see which parts of the location you want to use or which angles work the best and things like that. You will also see if there are any logos or designs that you need to cover before the shoot, so you will bring all the necessary things to the shoot to cover that. So for planning our shoots, I created a template in Notion, but yeah, it's changing all the time because we often realize that there are some things we want to include there and some things we don't need, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, let's jump into Notion so I can show you how we do it. Okay, so this is Notion. We have our creative shoots here and we'll just create a new one. Let's say business. And now we can just open this shoot, and here we have our template, and I'll just click on it and it will automatically fill all the information from the template. Let's expand this. Okay, so this is our main page, and here we have two other pages. This is info for models. We send that to models before the shoot, so they have all the information needed there. And this shoot plan, that's where we put all the shot lists, mood boards and things like that. So first thing we'll do is we'll add a date here. So this is the shoot date. So today we're planning a business photo shoot. I'll add a location, Google Maps link and some photos of the location, because that can help you to get ideas of what you want to do on the shoot. Okay, I'll also add date and time here. And of course models that we'll use on our shoot. So let's do it. So for models, you want to have diverse models, because if you shoot only white people, you won't sell much, because companies want to have diversity in their images because they want to show that they are a global company. So sometimes we're shooting for different briefs on the same photo shoot, and then we'll use this table here where we can write for which briefs we're shooting in different time frames and which parts of the location we'll use and which models we'll use for that specific brief. But for this shoot we won't use that, so we can just delete that. And now when I have all this information here, I'll turn this into a synced block. So yeah, let me show you. I'll just turn this into synced block and you'll get this red frame around, and I'll also move all these things into this synced block. And now when I have this synced block, I will copy it and I will paste it in this info for models and also into our shoot plan. So now we have this information in all three parts of our shoot plan. And for example, if I add another model here, I have this info also here and in info for models section. So that's pretty awesome. And down here we have a list of props and lights that we'll use on the shoot. So I'll sync this to a shoot plan, so I have this on both locations, because I'll add props while I'll write a shoot plan. Okay, so let's do this. Turn into sync block, copy, shoot plan, and I'll add this here. Okay, and I can delete this. Okay, let's go back. So last thing we have here on our main page is this payment area. So we usually pay all the models the same rate, but sometimes we have some models that are there for 2 hours and some will be there for 4 hours, and we write that down here so we don't have to calculate that later. But for this shoot everybody will be there for 4 hours, so yeah, I'll just remove that. Okay, now let's jump to this models section. So we have all this information we just filled in, and down here we have photographer section, so the models will know who to call if they can't find a location or something. For this shoot there will be only me and another photographer. That's it. If there are any assistants on the shoot, we'll add that here, but for this shoot we won't have any assistants. And here we have the info about makeup and styling. So this makeup part is pretty much the same, except if we're doing something special, which we usually don't. And here we have some clothing templates. So I created these buttons so I can just select which clothing I want them to bring on the shoot. So for this shoot I want business and smart casual, and I can just click on this template and it will fill this information in. And I can just delete the rest. And I'll also sync this area here to our shoot plan, so we have this info there as well. So what works best is the models to bring their own clothes. So those clothes fit them and also they feel most comfortable in their own clothes. But we'll always bring some more clothes to the shoot, because you never know if the model has what you want or if we just want to combine colors better. And that's it for this model section. I'll just export this document and send it to models so they have all the information in one place. Oh, and if you're enjoying this video so far, click that thumbs up button because it makes a lot of difference, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So if we move to this shoot plan section, we have this synced block here and another one here, and here we have a shot list section. So when I'm thinking about things I can do on the shoot, I often go to iStock or Google and just search for business meeting, for example, just to find some inspiration there. Or sometimes if I see an interesting image in a commercial or somewhere, or maybe just an interesting styling that I could use, I just capture an image with my iPhone so I have it there if I want to use it somewhere in the future. Next thing, when you have an idea, you want to think of your shoot as a story. So way too often we're just thinking, okay, we'll do business meeting in the boardroom and then we'll do this and this and this. But you should also focus on what was happening before the meeting or after the meeting, like people coming into the office, having a coffee, having a lunch break or coffee break after the meeting, and things like that. That's especially useful for video because customer will maybe want to combine a few shots together. So the more different things or angles from that shoot you have, the more images or clips you can sell. But of course you don't have to stick to the story 100%, but it will just help you with ideas and getting more different shots from one shoot. Also, when you're creating this shot list, you want to think of props that model will use so the scene will look believable. If they are just business people without any props, that will look fake. For each scene you have to think of props that you'll use in that particular scene, so you'll bring all that to your shoot. You can also search on iStock or Google to see what people actually have on their tables when they have a business meeting, brainstorming or similar. Okay, I'll just write this shot list and then I'll talk about few of these shots. Okay, let me talk about few of these shots and props for a second. So first one is this empty location. So you always want to shoot empty location first, even before the models come. I often forget about this, especially when I don't have a shoot plan, but I've sold quite a few images of empty locations, so it's always a good idea to shoot that. I know that from one shoot my best-selling image is an empty location, so yeah, do that. Okay, next one, close-up shots. I also don't do this enough, but sometimes customers don't want to see people's faces, so it's always a good idea to shoot some close-ups. If you watched my video about my best-selling images, you know that my best-selling image is a close-up of people's hands. Okay, next thing, for laptops or TV, you don't want to have blank screens. You always want to have something on them. Okay, for TV it can be turned off if models are not using it, but for laptops on the table you always want to have something on them. Laptops with black screens will look fake. You can just have a white background, or for these business photo shoots I like to have some charts there. But whatever is on the screen, it must be yours. You can't just go on Google and download random charts. You have to create them by yourself. Okay, when I have all these props here, I like to organize them a little bit so I know which ones I have to take from the office, from home, or which ones I have to buy. And okay, let's do this. And then later, when I'm preparing props for the shoot, I'll just cross them, and that way I won't forget about anything. Okay, next thing I do, sometimes I do this in the end, or sometimes even before I write this shot list. I like to go on iStock or Google and try to find similar images, similar to those that I want to get, and put them here for inspiration. Sometimes I just make a board on iStock and just grab a screenshot and put it here, or sometimes I just add images individually. Okay, so let's add this. And yeah. And then I just print this shoot plan so I have it with me on the shoot, so I don't forget about anything. Of course, things usually don't go as planned, so don't worry if you don't stick to your shoot plan 100%. Often you'll get some other ideas on the shoot, and sometimes you'll just see that something's not working like you thought it will, and that's totally normal. But you should have a plan as a foundation for your shoot, and with a plan you'll do much more than without it. So if you like this video, I'm sure you'll also like this video here, where I talk about how to get more sales on stock sites, so be sure to check it out. Stay awesome, keep shooting, and I'll see you in my next video.